I'm Jake Quicksall, a project manager here at Cool Planet Energy Systems. Welcome to our video series, where we hope to give you a look into Cool Planet's technological and business developments. Cool Planet produces two products from its proprietary technology: a carbon-negative, drop-in gasoline fuel and an absorbent clean charcoal called Biochar. Today, we're going to be taking a close look at Cool Planet's Biochar Research and Development Program. Rick Wilson, Director of Biochar Business, and Dr. Han Kim, Biochar Plant Team Physiologist, will join us today to give us details on this promising new product.
Hi, my name is Rick Wilson. I lead the Biochar program here at Cool Planet. We're pioneering the use of biochar in a variety of exciting applications. One important area of our focus is improving the performance of agriculture using biochar. Biochar is the carbon co-product of Cool Planet's fuels process. The way our process works is we take biomass, in this case corn cobs, and we convert it into gasoline and water, and also biochar. When you take this biochar and you put it in the soil, you dramatically improve the agricultural yield, and you also improve the growth rate. At the same time, you reduce the amount of fertilizer and water that's needed by the plants. Now, the way this works is the biochar actually has micropores and macropores. The micropores, the small pores, actually adsorb water and nutrients, preventing them from leaching into the soil, making them more available to the plant for use. The macropores hold beneficial microbes, including fungus and bacteria, and these fungi and bacteria actually facilitate the assimilation of the nutrients into the plant. In addition to the benefits of biochar to the farmer, the use of biochar in soil applications sequesters carbon from the atmosphere. Photosynthesis takes CO2 from the atmosphere into the biomass. The Cool Planet process takes the biomass, turns it into biochar, and renders the biochar resistant to degradation in the soil. This biochar is known to stay in the soil for thousands of years. It's evidenced by the Amazonian terra preta deposits. In addition to the direct sequestration of carbon by the biochar, the improving yield associated with the use of biochar further sequesters carbon from the atmosphere. And because you're using less fertilizer, the emissions from the industrial processes used to make that fertilizer are reduced. And also because you're making more efficient use of the fertilizer, you get less byproduct formation of methane and nitric oxide, themselves known to be potent greenhouse gases. There are really two key elements to our success. The first element is our team. We've put together a multidisciplinary team with expertise that have never worked together before to address this problem. So these capabilities and people include Wilson Hagel, a physical chemist, Ranko Bonchev, a surface chemist, Han-Suk Kim, a plant physiologist, and Dr. Richard Belcher, a soil microbiologist. So the second element of our success are the support from our investors. We have Northbridge Ventures, we have Google, we have Shea, BP, General Electric, ConocoPhillips, NRG, some of the world's top clean tech investors. So we have the resources and commitments to bring the dream of biochar to reality. So what I'd like to do now is turn you over to Dr. Han-Suk Kim in our Plant Growth Lab.
My name is Han-Suk Kim. I work at Cool Planet Energy Systems. I'm a plant physiologist. My background is in plant pathology, plant molecular biology. The primary goal of this plant growth lab is to increase high-value cash crops such as lettuce, tomatoes, peppers, and strawberries. So we have experiments here with tomatoes and peppers trying to increase yields with our inoculated biochar. The main benefits of biochar is to increase the water holding capacity as well as the nutrient retention in the soil. We have two examples of tomato plants that have been grown in biochar and one that had not been grown in biochar. You can see the large difference in the root biomass of the plants that have been grown in biochar, which should translate into increased nutrient uptake as well as the ability to hold more water, and thus translating into increased shoot mass and fruit yield. So in addition to our experiments here, we have a field experiment with lettuce nearby here in Ventura County. This is our first field test of our biochar to evaluate whether or not our biochar can decrease nitrogen application rates while at the same time increase lettuce production yields. Once we apply the 3 different nitrogen application rates in water, we'll take samples from the soil in the 10 and 20 centimeter lysimeters, and then measure the concentration of nitrogen and other macro and macronutrients. We will compare these concentrations in plots with and without biochar to test whether biochar is able to retain more nutrients in the soil than plots without biochar. After 3 months, our results were favorable. These are representative lettuce plants grown in plots with biochar and plots without biochar. The lettuce that was grown in the biochar shows increased root and shoot biomass, with biomass increases as much as 75%. Biochar also increased soil organic matter and total nitrogen content, thereby improving soil health. Our data further shows soil with biochar retain 2 times more nitrogen in the root zone. This is confirmed by data taken beyond the root zone, which shows soils without biochar leached more nitrogen. Biochar reduced nitrogen leaching by 30%. This reduces the amount of fertilizer needed and saves money by lowering input costs.
The Cool Planet team is working hard to bring biochar to the high-value agricultural market next year. We'll be producing and selling 5,000 tons in 2014. So we're looking for commercial partners to tee up trials so that we have customers next year. I am hugely excited about biochar. We're really at the forefront of an exciting transformation. With our technology, we'll be able to reduce the variability and performance of biochar that's plagued prior efforts to commercialize this technology. Because of that, we've opened the door to the world's biggest markets, food and water. Our product has the ability to dramatically improve the yield of agriculture and grow food where food has not grown before, addressing the needs of a dramatically growing population. We also have the ability to mitigate drought, direct consequence of climate change, and this product sequesters carbon from the atmosphere, one of the fuel tools we have against climate change. I want to thank you for tuning in, and I encourage you to follow the biochar team's progress on the coolplanet.com website.